Well, hello everyone. It's Don once again. Hope you enjoyed the puppies. So let's get started for today. I know in the preview I said, hey, it's too hot out. Well, obviously that's changed. It started to rain this afternoon. Yeah, the pups are getting big. We have 4 males left. 4 of them have gone home. 2 we're holding for another week or so until they're ready to take them. And 4 of them are still looking for homes. So if anybody's interested, okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the screen rolling up here. Anyway, so let's get started on the list here. The Mike Reb says, hey Don, do you know what the purpose of the exit gates southbound on Morse at 466? It seems to be as useless as the gate at Sawgrass. All right, Morse at 466. So Morse at 466. There's no gate at Morse at 466. Oh wait, is there? Traffic control. Okay, yes. Okay. It's about traffic control and slowing down the cars to give the golf carts an opportunity to cross. Same thing as the one at Sawgrass. The one at Sawgrass, though, I've said it many times now, it's in the wrong position. It needs to be moved about 100 feet closer to the gate, so it's only about 30 feet from the gate. On both sides, that will stop the race condition that occurs. Let's see, any word on Boosters opening? Nothing on Boosters opening, but Thursday and Friday they are doing previews of, or they're opening up Southern Oaks, not Southern Oaks, Jeepers Creepers, Shallow Creek, that's the name of it. Shallow Creek is opening Thursday for some previews and Friday for previews, and then open for general play on the 30th, which I believe is next Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, I think it's next Saturday. Where is a Wiley for Sumter working for all in Sumter County? Muskie, I know. I got to get some events going. You've made some great suggestions about a sign waving. I think it's a great idea. And this coming week, I'm planning on having a quick get-together with some folks, including yourself, to start planning some events to get the message out. My signs, I got the word yesterday. No, I'm sorry. Today's Sunday. Wow, where'd the week go? I got the word on Friday that all my signs are ready, so they will start going up next week. I got a lot of 4x4s, a handful of 4x8s, and jeepers, 100-yard signs. And I also have some window clings for golf carts. So if anybody's interested, drop me a quick email. We'll figure out a place to meet up. The window clings, you stick them on the inside of your window using a little soapy water, and they're easy to peel off after it doesn't mess up your windshield. Let's see, 90 degrees even with the rain. Yeah, it is. It's pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't bad this morning. I was out relatively early, about 9 o'clock. Well, that's pretty late for me. I'd been up since 5. And I was out shooting some video footage. And it wasn't bad, but it is definitely been miserable the last couple of days. Let's see. Victoria wants to know, is it better to pay the bond up front? How much of a savings will you save over 20, 30 years if you pay it annually? So interest rates vary, so that determines how much you're going to pay if you pay it over the 30-year bond period or 20-year bond. I don't remember if it's 20 or 30 or whatever it is. Normally, you save it's going to save you at least twice as much in interest. So, if you got a $50,000 bond, you might end up paying a total of $150,000. I'll tell you the rule of thumb I used. I said if I'm going to be in my house more than 6 years, I'm paying it off. And I still hold to that thumb rule because I figured at 6 years, I'm pretty much cemented where I'm at. Yeah, I've seen how that worked out this year. So my current house, I've been in it 10 years, and excuse me, I paid the bond off at the 6-year point, and I don't regret doing it. I say that because many people will move after a year or 2 or 3, and the house is too big, the house is too small. It just depends. Thank you, dear. It just depends on, what you're looking for in a house. Some people want a pool. Some people wanted a pool, then realized they didn't want a pool after they started taking care of it. So there's lots of reasons people move. But if you haven't moved after 6 years, you're probably going to be sitting put. And the puppies are beautiful. Yes, they are. I'm missing 4 of them already. 2 went home today. 2 went home earlier in the week. Mark Ryan says, hi Don, any updates on the new Target at 466A? Got my Lily in here. She's come to visit. So the Target at 466A, I drove by it yesterday. I hadn't seen any progress. It is what it is. Sound is off. Are you guys not hearing me? All right, hang on. Well, the system says it's working. Where was I? So Target at 466. I haven't seen any progress on it. The parking lot is done. It looks good. But, okay, good. You can hear you. All right. Thanks, everyone. I just had a thing about sound is off. Anyway. Okay, yeah, I got it's scrolling out of control with I can hear you. All right. Let's see. So yeah, I don't know what's the holdup. I know they have the parking lot done. Let's see. A rally. We'll talk about it this week, Muskie. Figure out what to do. I got to get the word out. Jerry says, hello everyone. Okay. Jerry says, hello Don. Please share vinyl versus cement stucco pros, cons. Thank you for everything. Well, with the vinyl homes, they're generally less expensive. It's a less expensive way to build a home. That's part of the reason why the patio villas and the cottage villas are all vinyl, stick and vinyl, because it makes them less expensive, makes them much more affordable. Courtyard villas used to also be vinyl, stick and vinyl, but I have not seen any in quite a while. I think that the courtyard villas have, when they started out, they were the original, let me get in at a low price. There's a set of courtyard villas called Courtyard Villas over by Spanish Springs. That was the first set. And they were designed to be an entry home at a much lower price point. Looking at courtyard villas now, one of the ones in my neighborhood 2 years ago sold for $825,000. And it was the same floor plan and on a little smaller lot than what I have. So I'm optimistic when it comes time to sell mine. Just great location. But, again, courtyard villas have come a long way. As far as on designer homes, you can get either one. Price is one thing. Looking at the way the homes are built, Obviously, with a block home or a precast wall home, the walls are obviously stronger. On the precast, looking at the plans for the new home that I just bought, the rebar is both vertical and horizontal on 12 by 12 centers. So it's pretty stout. And, the anchors are embedded in the concrete. So I can't say for sure, but I think they're also probably a little bit quieter, the cement and stucco, just because, it's not a hollow wall. Even with insulation, it's still a hollow wall, but the block and stucco are not. Moshki, I'll get you some window clings this week. I'll get you a couple if you want. Let's see. So let's see. Naperville Real Estate. Jill says, "Hi, Don. I know the Villages has a restriction of 2 dogs per household. We may end up coming there with 3 due to an 8-year-old foster we have she may end up keeping." So that's an interesting question, because I looked at my deed restrictions on my current home here in Hillsborough and at the investment property, and the current home says 2 pets. And they list everything from dogs, cats to goldfish. So, if you have a fish tank, you only have 2 fish according to that. It doesn't seem to, I didn't see the same statement in the new section, the house that I bought down in Moultrie Creek. It does talk about livestock. So I'm guessing you can't have a Vietnamese potbelly pig, but because they consider that livestock. But you can't. It doesn't appear to be a restriction on the number of dogs now. So we got a bunch I can hear yous. Tron says, good movie, Tron. Don, is it customary for people that are renting their homes in the Villages to request photocopied driver's licenses from prospective renters? I know that talking with Karen, who runs Rent from a Villager, she recommends doing background checks on all renters. So, photocopy your driver's license probably would not be out of the question. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten into the whole renting process yet. We're still trying to get the home, fixed up. We just dropped all that money on a new house, and I'm dropping another 10% in on upgrades already. Let's see. Marietta Black says, sold our home in the preserve a couple of years ago, but want to move back. Okay. We don't like the enclave. Okay. Is it true we can now build a premier home in a designer neighborhood? Are the lots big enough? Great question. I just was listening to the latest Villages advertisement, their video on YouTube, and they did say you could build a premier or a designer home on some of the new lots. So I guess they're allowing it. Many of the premier homes are upgraded designer homes from what I saw, the floor plans. One of the homes I have under contract to take pictures of is also a premier home. No, I'm sorry, 2 of them are premier homes. And they're mixed in with the designer neighborhood. Sorry you don't like the enclave. That's a really beautiful area. Excuse me. Let's see. And I've got some I got some really good screenshots that I took on Friday and this morning of Shady Brook, because they released a ton of lots, and what a difference just a day or 2 makes. Let's see. Mike O says, hi, Don. A few years ago, I read the Turnpike expansion in Orange and Lake County required all bridges exchanges, overpasses being replaced, which they are doing because of new height requirements. Wouldn't surprise me, but I haven't heard anything, about the bridges. If you look at the north span of Warm Springs, it's relatively new, and the Southern Oaks Bridge, the Bexley Bridge, it's brand new, and they all seem to be the same height as some of the older bridges. So I'm not sure about replacing all the bridges. I know that down in Orange County they had to replace a few because of the width, because they did not have enough width for the widening of the Turnpike. So the new bridges that have been built have taken that into account. 301, my understanding is the bridge over 301 on the Turnpike is going to be replaced to make it wider both ways, wider for the traffic underneath because 301 is being widened, and it's also got to be widened for width because they're going from 2 lanes to 4 lanes in each direction. And then 470, I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at that bridge very closely to see it. I know that a new span is going to be built, and for the widening of 470 to 4 lanes, and that's going from the end of Dabney, where that section of commercial property is, all the way to where it connects into Sumter County, and that's at McNeil Drive. Mushke says she has 3 dogs. What are the so Eric wants to know, what are the times for noise ordinances in the villages, and are they enforced? I used to know this. I believe it's like from 30 minutes before dawn until 10 o'clock or something like that. It's pretty liberal. And if you're in violation of it, yes, you can call Sumter County Sheriff or Wildwood Police, depending on which neighborhood you're in, and report the issue, and they will come out and deal with it. Temajema says, is there a rule on painting your stucco home after so many years? There is no rule about painting your home and how often it has to be painted. You do have to maintain the appearance of your home. So if your paint is painting, your paint is fading, then you would need to repaint it. We repainted our home after 8 years. It was starting to get a little bit chalky. Builder's grade paint is builder's grade paint, and it's not going to last. We had our house repainted with the best Sherwin-Williams that we could get, and it looks great. Wow. So Todd and Cecile want any advice on looking for a rental that allows a large dog while we look for a home. I would reach out to Rent from a Villager. Karen, she's very knowledgeable on this. The problem with dogs is obviously homeowners insurance. When I got the homeowners insurance for my what you call it? I'll get it out in a second. The the investment property I bought down in Moultrie Creek, and it does not have coverage if there's animals being kept there, dogs. So if when I decide to rent it, or if I decide to move into it, I have to adjust my homeowner's insurance. I think it's ridiculous, but we've got some problem dogs. All right, Let's see. Maiko asked about the bridges. Yeah, that were the villages just built. Yeah, they're met all requirements. Neighbor Jill asks, if we plan on moving there in the spring, what village will be built if I buy a lot in late fall, early winter? You know, it's hard to say. Late fall, early winter. So let's see, where are they at now? So right now they are building 6 sets of homes. Basically, all the villa homes and the patio villas, the courtyard villas, and that are being built in Well Point. Nothing has started in Lakeview, or excuse me, Water's Edge. After Water's Edge will be, it appears to be Lakeview. Assuming 2 months for every village, that puts us 6 months out. So maybe Lakeview? What's coming after that, it's hard to say. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Moretta. Okay. Jim O says, hey, Don, I hate to bring this one up. Can you tell us about the possible fire fee increase for Sumter County, and does that affect the other 2 counties? Okay, so the county commission is making their final decision. I think July is when the proposed budget will get approved, and there will be a fire. They're dealing with the fire fee increase to cover basically the ambulances and upgrading the service in Sumter County outside of Village's public safety. The area serviced by the Village's public safety department. It's going to be a substantial increase. The businesses are really going to feel the brunt of it. I think it's too much, but I'm not on the county commission right now. But it does not affect, if you live in the villages, it does not affect Marion County or Lake County. It is just those areas of Sumter County not serviced by Village's Public Safety Department. Let's see. Greg R. says, hi, Don. Any comments, concerns on the DJI drone ban that passed the House? Yeah, lots of concerns. My concern is the sanity of these congressmen who passed this and the sanity of the senators that are considering passing it. The whole thing with the DJI drones is the basic premise is that the communist Chinese are spying on us because of the drones, because flight data is sent to China. And yes, that is happening. All my flight data goes to a server in China, or it used to. What's it been now? It's been about 10 days now. 10 days ago, they came out with a software change that stops that upload. It's not even an option anymore. It used to be optional. And if there was a concern about it, all they had to do is flip a little switch in the software. It says, do not share your data. Disconnect from the Wi-Fi. Done. That's all there had to be done. For me, it definitely impacts me because I fly DJI drones. Why do I fly DJI drones? Because they are the best on the market. Nothing against the American-made drones, but nothing for them. They're not as good. They don't fly as well. They're more expensive. One of the things, the Drone Flyers Club, a bunch of members sent letters to Congressman Webster. They all got a form letter back. And they talked about industrial spying by the communist Chinese. Really? That's like saying Coke and Pepsi are spying on the kid down the street who's selling lemonade. They have the best on the market. They don't need to spy on other companies at this point. For everybody here on that's listening right now, if that passes, that's going to affect you, not because of my channel, but it's going to affect you when you go to the grocery store. Because right now, if you go out west, you see these big giant windmills on all these farms. Those windmills are not very friendly to crop dusters, okay? Right now, the most effective way of crop dusting is using drones. And 90% of the drones used for agriculture are DJI drones. If you ground them, which is what they're trying to do, first off, we won't talk about the tens of thousands of jobs that'll be lost. But also, costs are going to go up for food, for fruits and vegetables, because it's much more expensive to do it any other way. Thank you for asking that question. It's been a very hot topic. It's going to be devastating. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of people are going to lose their jobs. There are billions of dollars invested in these drones. And there has never been any evidence proven that to prove that this claim of spying. Lisa says, yep, she checked the village's hometown property management, renting for large dogs, and yep, many homes will allow it. Some say new construction has slowed. You are out in the trenches. What is your opinion on this? It has not slowed. It is not at the peak that it was right after the COVID broke, when they were selling 4,000 homes. Thank you, Victoria. But it is still a booming business. It's definitely, I think they're going to be around 3,500 homes this year, which is still a phenomenal amount of homes to be built. So it's not slowing. They're building at the same rate as they have for the last 15 years. Retired in Florida says, "Hi Don, I noticed some of the developers' family members have contributed to your campaign for commissioner. How can you assure you will represent all of Sumter County in and outside of the villages?" Retired in Florida, that's a great question. If anybody has an axe to grind with the developer, I would. They've tried many times to put me out of business, to shut me up. That's their business. They don't like me spilling the beans. They don't like me beating them to the punch with information. But that's really irrelevant. That pertains to me personally and to my company. But as a county commissioner, that's not where my head is. My head is taking care of all of Sumter County. I'll be honest with you. I was a little shocked. I was flattered to see a contribution from Mark Morris and his wife, and from Jennifer Parr. I'm not asking them for donations, but they have faith that I'm going to give our businesses a fair treatment, and that's all any business has ever asked of me, is just treat us fair. Because honestly, we have to treat everybody the same. We have to give everybody fair representation, because if we don't, you can't favor one part of the county over another. You can't favor the villages over the non-villages area, the cities over the rural areas, the businesses over our residents, because we all rely. It's all one community. If we tax our businesses too much, okay, then they're going to leave the county. Or they're going to raise their prices, and if they raise their prices too much, people are going to leave the county. that drives our tax revenues down from sales tax, property values. If it's not a good place for businesses to be, then it's going to impact home values. And if we're too hard on the homeowners, it's not a favorable place to buy a home. That impacts the businesses. Everything is related. Everybody's connected. And that's the way I look at things. I've got to do, as a county commissioner, what is best for all of Sumter County. I will tell you, I have met Jennifer Parr one time when they were opening Azell during the grand opening of the Azell Recreation Center. I have said hello to Mark Morris one time when I was up in the developer's office for some other business. He walked by, I said hello, he said hello, and that was the extent of our conversation. They have never asked me for anything. They have never demanded anything of me. And quite honestly, I don't expect them to. Muskie, I'm gonna share what you shared with me. There's TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome, and then here in Sumter County there is DDS, Developer Derangement Syndrome. These are good people. They're business people. They're going to do what's in what they think is in their best interest for business. To try and influence the election, I believe would be dishonest, and I don't believe them to be dishonest people. Many of the businesses have contributed to my campaign because they want to be treated fairly. 3.5 years ago, Sumter County was in trouble with our businesses. People were just, businesses didn't know what to do because they saw a very unfriendly county government, and it was not a good place to be in business. It took a couple of years to reverse that. Sumter County is back in favor with our business community, and that's a good thing because it benefits everybody. We got what's the name of it, Costco coming. If it wasn't a good business environment, they wouldn't be here. Anyway, I owe my allegiance to everybody in Sumter County, and no one individual over the other. And that's I won't put the developer's interest over the residents. It's got to be what's in the best interest of all of Sumter County. Let's see. Mark says, as a villager newbie living in Liberty Park, are we served by the village's public safety or Sumter County? You're in Liberty Park. You're part of the villages. You're serviced by village's public safety. Michael wants to know, hi Don, is there a standard number of veranda areas per village? Moultrie Creek has 3 verandas, Shady Brook. There is no standard area or standard number. It depends on how they want to mix it up. There are 3. They've been doing verandas since they started Finney, and they mix them in pretty good. They're very popular because, especially people like myself with pets, they want a fenced-in yard. Pets and privacy are what sell verandas and courtyard villas. So I don't think there's any secret formula or anything, but they are being very proactive in building them because they are popular. Victoria, again, thank you, Victoria, for the donation. What are your top 3 upgrades you recommend for veranda-style new home? Crown molding is number 1. I just had crown molding and my house painted 2 weeks ago. and it makes all the difference in the world. Other upgrades, but crown molding is my number one. If you have a dog, put a dog door in your screened lanai. It's going to run you a couple $100. I had T&D come out and do it last week. It's long-term planning. Again, what other things? What other upgrades? Landscaping is always a popular upgrade. I'm not a real big fan of some of the bushes that the Villages puts in, but landscaping is always good from a curb appeal standpoint. There are other things. Many people have their driveways epoxied. It's a very thin epoxy paint. If you have a motorcycle, don't do it. I've seen several of them where motorcycles put their side stand down on the epoxy driveway and it just peels right up. No way around it. So, I went with Black Dog garage floors in my house. They're one of my advertisers, and that would be Magic Stairs. If you're going to use your attic, by all means, the Magic Stairs are worth the money. I was hesitant when Ron Berner asked me about advertising. I said, I looked at his email and said, Magic Stairs, really? I had my doubts. Took 3 times. I finally went over to his house. He showed me the product. I got halfway up the steps. I was sold. They are that much better. I have those rickety metal ones in my current house, and I'll put it to you this way. The Christmas decorations are still sitting in the garage because I refuse to go back up or hauling things up there anymore. I'm going to be bringing a lot of stuff down and just putting them on shelves in the garage. I'm too old for that game. It's, when I move into the new house, sorry, Victoria. I just saw your latest message about the Mastiffs. I'll get to it. It's like going up regular steps. It makes a huge difference. Let's see. Hi, Don. Where is Lakeview? Lakeview is the area. I don't know if you're Mary Kay, if you're local or not. Lakeview is the area just south of the 1 kilometer central lake that's been built for dragon boating for Eastport. It's kind of wedge shaped. It goes from Marsh Bend Trail over towards Eastport. On the south side is the Bel Air Executive Course that's being grown right now, and on the north side is the Central Lake. So that's where it's at. I check my video footage; you'll see it. I shot some extra of it this time for this week's video, which, by the way, I didn't get out yet because of all the rain and high winds this past week. I didn't get all the filming done. I finished this morning. So I'm hoping Tuesday afternoon I'll have it out. I couldn't fly. Couldn't get the stuff I need. Let's see. Mushki, thank you very much for the kind words. I do try to be common sense, fiscally responsible. Yeah, I spend money like it's my own, and I'm cheap. So I want to get the very best I can for the very least amount of money. We are all Americans. What is the final location for Costco? It is on 466, just north of Fresh Market, and next to Home Goods is where it's going to be. Mushki says, have a business-friendly environment. We pay less taxes and have more conveniences, contribution big time to the budget. Yes, businesses pay more, they pay more for the services they get than homeowners do. So getting businesses in is definitely good. Let's see. Thank you, Mushki, about Nova filters. That was the other thing I put in. The water here in Florida is a little hard. You get a lot of, because it's coming out of a limestone reservoir, there's a lot of limestones in it. I had Nova put in a filter system in mind. So, Patty, yes, I would recommend Nova filters. Like I said, I had the filter put in mine Wednesday, I think it was. They came over and put it in. It took them about 2 hours, and it was done. It looks good, and I've had 2 glasses of water out of it, so I don't know if it makes a difference on the flavor yet. I'm not living there. Let's see. Don, has the tollway finalized plans regarding the number of lanes they plan on expanding the Turnpike through the villages? As far as I know, yes, it's going to be 4 lanes in each direction. So that was at the last MPO meeting that I went to. That was definitely there. Victoria says, great suggestion on doggy door. Hope they can make a big enough one for our Mastiffs. So I got the largest one they make. It's about, I don't know, about that wide, and it's, I don't know, it's probably 16 inches tall. I'll measure it this week, and I'll try and remember what the measurements are, and or send me an email, and that will remind me to go out and measure it, and I'll get the measurements, so you know how big it is. David Sullivan says, hi, Don, are there plans for a bowling center in Eastport? You know, David, I don't know. They have been very tight-lipped on what's going in Eastport. We know that there's a golf cart store, a bank, and a medical facility. Those are underway. That's all they've really said. They said restaurants, shops, but they have made no commitments, unlike in Middleton, where they've talked about Four Rivers and Middleton 24 and Victory Family Sports Grill. We know those are going in. They just put a bank in, but they've also in the newspaper talked about an ice cream store and a bunch of other things. So we know that what's better idea what's coming there, but Eastport they have been very tight-lipped on. A bowling center, it would be nice. We'll see. Let's see. Tron says, Don, how much coordination is required with your neighbor if living in a courtyard villa and having your house painted, given the need to access your neighbor's yard to paint one side of your home? So talk to your neighbor. Some of your neighbors may lock the door, but they are by the deed restrictions required to give you access for maintenance. So it should not be an issue. If there is an issue, then you need to file a complaint with community standards, because they are required by their deed restrictions to give you access for painting. I didn't have any problem with mine. My next door neighbor and I, actually we used the same painter, and they painted our house one after the other. That's always a great thing to do. You can get a better deal a lot of times if you get your next door neighbor who's probably needing their house painted at the same time. We have one individual, I'll use nice words, in our neighborhood here in Ventura Villas that is a real pain when it comes to letting their neighbor in. They wanted to, I think it was paint, and it was a struggle. I don't remember what the final outcome was. That was about a year or two ago. But yeah, just talk to your neighbor. It should not be an issue. And if it is an issue, just remind them to read your deed restrictions, because you're required to allow you access to the encumbering side of your house. Thomas says, great videos. Drone footage is very good too. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So we are All Americans. Hi, Don. Where in Eastport is your next home base? So there are no homes in Eastport, the Eastport area. So I live in, or no, I'm sorry, I don't live there. I still live in Ventura Villas in the village of Hillsborough. But I bought a house in Moultrie Creek in Verandas North. It's a nice community. I think there's 40 homes in it. The bond is the third highest in District 15. It was 51.5. But looking at it, looking at the yards, all of the, there's just one loop. It's Laura Loop on the inside. That's the only road. And the homes on the outside have very big yards, very nice yards. So your bond is based on acreage. And it was, we got a lot of acreage because of the big yards. So therefore our bond is higher because you take the number of acres times the bond amount per acre and just divide it by the number of homes. And like I said, I think we got 40 homes. I have a video, it came out about 3, maybe 4 years ago. Go look through the archives on my YouTube website on how the bonds are calculated if you really want the information. Muskie says, can't deny access for painting, pressure washing, gutters. I always talk to them, give them a heads up. Yeah. So that's the correct way to do it. Can you share the name of your painters? I need my house done in the next couple of years. I don't remember. I'll have to ask Joe, my next door neighbor. He was the one who actually arranged it. So I'll see if I can't find it. Send me an email, Muskie, by the way. I know you know my email. But it's don@goldwingnut.com or live@goldwingnut.com. And I'll try and get the name of the painters. Inside my house, I had the same people paint it that did my crown molding. It was Creative Finish Carpentry. Creative Finish Carpentry did my house in Hillsborough. And after watching them, I had zero doubts on using them again. I didn't even shop around. And they did my whole house. They painted it, put in crown molding, archways, casements around the sliding glass doors, and wainscoted the bar, and painted the whole house in 7 hours, and they were gone, and it was perfect. Let's see. That's all that's on the live list. We still got a few minutes. I got some questions that people have sent me. Let's see if we can shift. All right, there we go. Let's see. First question regards ARC. My request for a concrete patio slab was denied. The response said only allowed between sidewalk and house. My model does not have space between the house and sidewalk. Is it worth taking to the committee? Who would I contact in your opinion? Would a paver patio be an option? Second question regarding tilt wall construction. As windows are installed during manufacture, how would one replace the windows in the future? It seems like the frames are permanent. Wow. So let's talk about the windows. If you ever decide to replace the windows, it's a big job. One of the houses that I took pictures of, they had the window was crooked for whatever reason, and they had to cut out the framing and put a new one in. It was a big deal. So it's, if you're going to upgrade your windows, fortunately, the new windows that they're using are very nice. They're well made, very well insulated. So hopefully you won't have to do that, at least in this lifetime. So concrete slab for a patio. So I'm assuming you're talking about out front. And, Janet shared with me her model. It has no area in the front where she could really pave. So I'm assuming she wanted to do it on the side opposite of the garage, because the sidewalk always curves into the driveway. That being the case, I don't know if, she said she's in case and hammock. I haven't looked at the deed restrictions and the ARC manual. So who you would contact, you could contact community standards, and you can, cheapers. This is a tough one. Community standards is who you'd have to go through first. Paver patio would be an option. I don't know. You might be able to get away with it without ARC approval, but I would not do something like that without ARC approval. It's not worth the headache. Again, I would talk to community standards, see what's been done in the past. Go drive around your neighborhood. If there's a precedence, that can help your request. I'm not sure how CDD, what is that? That's 13. I'm not sure how they're doing their ARC request right now. Start with community standards. It would be the best bet. We got a couple more things here. So Mark Ellsworth says, any talk of a cart bridge, let's go back here, cart bridge in the south over the Turnpike, Lake Denham Dabney. So I haven't heard any talk about it, but it would be not a stretch to see one go when they add the second span for 470. I would also not be surprised to see another bridge like the Water Lily Bridge farther south between the two sides of the Turnpike south of 470. That's a long time out, though. Okay, sorry. We are all Americans. Hi, Don. How is the current interest rate environment impact the larger bonds? So, fortunately, the bonds that were taken out for District 15, I want to say it was 2 years ago, before the interest rate started really going crazy. So they're a lot lower. New bonds being drawn, and that's going to hurt, because it's not a loan, it's not a mortgage, it's an investment bond, and investors are looking for they're looking for a good return on their investment. So new bonds are definitely going to be at a higher interest rate thanks to the current interest rate environment. I think mine is at 5.5, which is still pretty high. Anyway, so yeah, it hurts. Don, as a master drone pilot, have you considered offering classes to fellow villagers? Yes, I have. I teach three different classes in the Enrichment Academy. You just purchased a DJI drone, so you want to take my Step 2 class. Step 2 talks about, I go through DJI Fly, which is the software you use, and I cover everything in it. I equate it to using Microsoft Word. If you use Microsoft Word, you know every feature and function, right? Well, no, hardly anybody knows all the features and function. The DJI Fly app has lots of features and functions and settings, and most people don't know what everything does. I do. I've studied it. I teach it. It's a 4-day class, 2 hours each day. So yeah, that would be your starting point. And then as far as actual hands-on flying, I do one-on-one flying lessons that I'll customize to whatever your needs are. Man, we are just steaming. Okay. Don, what is... oh, okay. So Tron asked Don, what is the building next to Gibson Water, just south of Bexley Trail, down near South 9 of Shallow Creek Golf Course? Gibson Water, just north of Bexley Trail. Building next to Gibson Water. So, I know the water plant you're talking about. It's are you, let me reread. I got to reread that again. Gibson Water, just north of Bexley Trail, south end of Shallow Creek 9. The only thing I know that's down there is the golf course maintenance facility. I was just down there this morning. I didn't see anything new. I'm going to have to look at that one, trying to get back to you. Jerry says, what to Victoria, what type of Mastiff? I have a South African Bull Bear Mastiff. Wow. Okay. Mark Ryan says, any opinion on purchasing a golf cart, gas or electric? Any dealers you like better than others? Gas, okay? And I'll give you the simple answer. If you run out of juice in an electric golf cart, for whatever reason, batteries do go bad, it's very hard to bring a gallon of battery juice and fill the battery and get you home. It's going to be towed. The new golf carts are the exhaust is very clean, as clean as exhaust can be, and they don't have a great smell, but they don't have much of a smell at all. So the new ones are pretty good. Villages Golf Carts sells a lot of golf carts. They're one of the top dealers in the country. My only problem with Villages Golf Carts is, well, I got two. The price seems a little high, and trying to get maintenance is extremely difficult. They have several shops. They're building another one down in Eastport, but they can't keep up with the business. That being said, Country Villages Golf Carts down in Webster, if you give them my name, tell them you heard about me on Gold Wingnut, I think they'll give you an extra discount. I'm meeting with them on Tuesday. They are one of my advertisers. They offer a military discount. They offer a bunch of different discounts, and they're stackable. So there you go. Fred Mitchell says, how do you get altitude, speed, and heading in your most recent video? Wow, that's going to be a difficult one, because that is using that telemetry data that went to a server in China. And then I have a third-party service called Air Data that I use to pull the data in. And then I use another program called Race Renderer to make the maps and the tracks. And it's an involved process that adds a lot to my editing time. There's another way to get it. I've got to look into it, which is manually uploading the telemetry data that is recorded by the DJI Go Fly software, or DJI Fly software, and you can upload it and get the data that way. Reach out to me offline, Fred, and I can go over it with you in detail, because it's pretty involved. Can you register on your site? No, you have to register either at one of the regional recreation centers, or you can register online. Any updates on Anita says, any updates on what will be coming Morrison 44 in front of Village's ground? Nothing yet. Nothing. I have been looking at multiple sources, trying to find something to confirm what I think I know, what's been shared with me. But until I find it, and even if I find it, my plan is to put out a special video like I did, when they opened up McNeil Drive. So, anyway, best. We're all Americans. You have my vote. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it is 4:00. I want to let me show you the map I was talking about. This is pretty cool, and we're going to call it a day. Before I get there, Brad, you got a good question here. Don, due to the village's proximity to the Turnpike, I am very concerned over the impact from the Turnpike expansion will have on village's property values. How do we get noise abatement walls? The way you get the noise abatement walls is you're going to have to talk to the Florida Turnpike Enterprise, the FTE. They are the ones who build the Turnpike property, or the Turnpike roads. It's separate from FDOT, but I would reach out to the FTE and let them know your concerns. I know that some folks have expressed their concerns to the Metropolitan Planning Organization, the MPO, and we had the FTE was there during that meeting. They always are there at the MPO meetings, and they heard the concerns. I will say that farther south, that they have put up sound abatement walls, so it would not be unreasonable to expect the same. Let's see. A mover in, I guess. Sorry, Walmart is coming to 44 at Morris. You heard it here first. What's your source? I'm not going to confirm or deny anything until I see something that proves otherwise. You gotta have some sort of document. Right now that's rumor. Walmart. That's an interesting rumor. Be an interesting location, most certainly. But again, without seeing something, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't comment on it. So let's go. So this is the map on Friday morning at about 8 o'clock. I logged on, as I always do on Friday mornings, and you can see a whole bunch of brown dots. Those are lots. And I don't know, can you see the mouse? Yes, you can see the mouse on the screen. Hey, that's great. So these right here, these are on Jeff Anderson. And then there's this loop here. And, well, okay, so you can see there's a lot. And here is this morning. Everything on Jeff Anderson is gone. Everything on the golf cart all the way around is gone. A bunch up here. These up here are gone. That was a lot of properties to move. And, of course, they did it. There's still some good ones. Out here, some of these are bigger lots. This one here has an advantage of it being, up against some courtyard villas. So you'll have a wall behind you, which is great for privacy. Mike B says, Don, what county are all these new homes in? Everything going forward for now until they start into the Secret Promise development is in Sumter County. And so they will have the lower Sumter County property tax over what was or what's in Lake County. And Lake County is Pine Hills, Pine Ridge, Newell, Lake Denham, and Dabney. So yeah, big number of houses. Come on. Let's get this back up here. Oh, great. I don't know what the heck happened there. Reader view. All right. So looking back at this, again, you can see all these houses here are gone. All these, just absolutely amazing. All right. So, Sandy McAllister said, I bought one of those lots on the Loop. Oh, congratulations. I'm assuming you're talking about this down here, this loop right here. Those are some big lots. Those are really big lots. And I didn't see any that broke the 200 mark, but most of them on the golf course were in the 120 to 180 range, just depending on what the view was. But yeah, looks like some really great lots. So anyway, so I think that about wraps it up. I had some other questions and comments, but it's getting late. It's 4 o'clock, and I know it's my turn to cook dinner. Chicken on the grill. I do a lot of grilling. I love it. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have 208 concurrent viewers right now. That's a new record. Okay, one more question here. Steve says, hey, Don, do you think Water's Edge or Well Point is next for the Village's homes for sale next? Well Point. Well Point, they're building houses right now. And Water's Edge, they haven't even got the roads paved yet. So, I'm sorry. Some of the roads in Water's Edge are paved. But Well Point is definitely next, and followed by Water's Edge. Again, thank you everybody for joining. We'll do this again next week, Sunday at 3 o'clock. Look for probably Tuesday or Wednesday, video number 144. As I said, I got a little behind because of the bad weather, but I got all the video shot. I just got to get it out of the drone, into the computer, and parked myself in front of the computer for many hours doing the editing. I'm going to try and do the maps, but at this point, I don't have an avenue to fully... Sorry, I'm sitting here and Lily is snoring. I'm going to turn the volume up on the mic, see if we can't pick it up. All right, she got up. She was snoring and barking in her sleep. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Again, hit the thumbs up button if you would, and be sure to subscribe. Y'all have a good day. Hey everybody, I just thought I'd share one of the pups with you. You can see how big it is. This is Loki. Hey, can you look at the camera and smile? He is one of 4 that are left. He's about 17 pounds. He's a big boy. Anyway, I just thought I'd show everybody. He is absolutely gorgeous. He is sweet as they get. And all right, puppy. Look at these ears. They're huge. Oh yeah, can't forget these. Big old paws. Oh, but I love the Goldens. I do love Goldens. All right, you ready? Let's go back and see Mom.